Yo, what is up, YouTube? I'm Blitz5, and today I have some Call of Duty Infinite Warfare gameplay, and this is on the map Throwback. And the reason why I wanted to put this gameplay on my page and show it to you guys is because, like the name says, it is a total throwback to the old school style maps of Call of Duty. And it's funny that when you get an old school map like this, you have a lot of fun. We won this game, got a lot of kills, got my kill streaks, all that stuff, and you just need kind of a more structured map to have fun. And unfortunately, this is one of the many, or the very few, maps that are like this in the game. But just to give a setting what's going on here, so this map is set to be a throwback. It's kind of got like the retro feel and almost like a Nuketown kind of vibe, and it's set to be like that, like an Earth style map when everything else is in space. And if you actually look up into the sky, I don't think I do during this gameplay, there's like you're on a giant ring like we're playing Halo, which I thought was kind of a ripoff from that, but I guess if you have something floating in space, the odds are it might be a ring, but definitely a little bit of a ripoff from that. And from what I've been seeing, a lot of the maps are kind of ripoffs from other maps, and not like a ton of original content, and the ones that are original content just aren't that great. So I don't know what that really means for the developers and the maps, and I'm sure it's very hard to make a map in Call of Duty. So anyways, I figured I would just walk through this gameplay old school style, kind of talk about why I liked it, the guns that I'm using, all that stuff right here. I'm using the modern version of an M4. It has a different name, like an NV4. And I have the typical class setup. I haven't changed too much stuff yet. I think I have like a scope on the gun and maybe extended mags, I think, on this. Which is funny that I'm even talking like this over Call of Duty gameplay, because it's been a long time since I've done something like this. And like I said in my previous video, unfortunately, it's helpful but kind of annoying and kind of strange that they went this way. Instead of starting with like a stun or flashbang grenade, you actually start with this personal radar, which is like your secondary grenade, and you get two of them. And when you hit it, a little radar comes up on your screen and it shows where the enemies are according to you. And I kind of criticize that. I just don't think that it's necessary when there's already UAVs and all this stuff, and when someone shoots, they pop up on the radar, that every single person starts with this personal mini-map UAV thing, which I think is kind of crazy, but it does kind of help, and if everybody has it, then I guess it's kind of fair. But so you see that the map is laid out like totally like an old school map, where it's got A, B, and C, and B is in the middle, and there's like the three main kind of ways to get to B, and then there's the spots overlooking B, kind of like how Nuketown was when you get into the building, overlook B. So it's a lot easier to kind of hold up on a spot, hold C and A, and then you kind of fight over B, like one team holds C and one team holds A. So it's a lot more organized, and you can kind of predict where enemies are coming and kind of post up. And this is what I think a lot of people are missing from Call of Duty. So I'm sure a lot of other people enjoy this map as well. I've seen some other YouTubers post gameplays from this map, and I'm guessing that's why, because they're more successful when they do it. And right here, you can see one of the character classes, which are called rigs. You can throw down a bubble shield, which is also like another kind of ripoff from Halo, and I can't believe they have that in Call of Duty, but that's what that guy was using to take C. And then I'm using the kill streaks. It's like a UAV, like a bombing run there. It's like a lightning strike bombing run. And you see, the game is lagging a lot right now, just for everybody. Even my buddy was playing campaign, it was lagging for him too, but I don't want to digress into that. So I have the UAV, this bombing run, strike, lightning strike, rolling thunder type thing, which I don't know exactly how many kills it takes. I think it's 4 for the UAV, 8 for this helicopter. And then I have like an attack helicopter type thing in this game that kind of follows you around. It's like an Overwatch thing. And that's called the Warden, which I just got here. You saw, and I died. That was at 1,100 points. And this is huge. I think I'm going to save this in this gameplay for the next round, which is like a really important thing to do, when you're using your kill streaks. And that was just me being retarded and not noticing that guy. But that's how it's kind of set up. The domination is back to 2 different rounds. You can see here I'm using the personal radar. It's kind of telling me that there's a guy to the right, looks like a little candy corn. The redder it is, the closer they are to you. So it's pretty noobish that they have it in the game, but it's not super effective. Like, there's usually people around you, and it kind of gives you just a general sense of like there is somebody closer than you than not, which is kind of nice, because if you're posted up in a spot like this, you can kind of tell if someone's coming behind you and whatnot. But yeah, so at least in this gameplay, I was able to get the kill streaks, but it's definitely pretty hard to go a while without dying in this game. And it seems like overall, I don't even think this is an opinion at this point, that the submachine guns are way stronger than any other gun in the game, even though right now I'm using an assault rifle. And it seems like Call of Duty is always like that. They always make not always, but it seems like they've made SMGs a lot stronger in a lot of their games compared to some other ones. Usually, like, Black Ops 1, they had the AK-74U, if you remember that, if you're a Call of Duty fan, and all this stuff. And then even in Black Ops 2, the SMGs were really strong. And I think sometimes in the Infinity Warfare, Infinite, wow, see, tongue twister. When they make the name Infinite Warfare and Infinity Ward, it gets kind of confusing. But in the Infinity Ward games, sometimes the assault rifles were more powerful, like back to Modern Warfare 2, like the Scar and the M4 and all those guns were like really awesome. So it seems kind of balanced. Like, it's definitely, the range is definitely off on the submachine gun, so it's hard to get a kill at range. But in this game, the maps are surprisingly pretty small, which is usually a really good thing. I usually complain if the maps are too big, but because everything is so fast, it really makes it more noticeable and kind of more hectic. So let's see here. This was definitely my spot during this game, just overlooking B. I was trying to do as much work as I can, and then a lot of people choke. It's like a choke point here in the tunnel, but no one was here at the moment. Oh, right here, this is interesting. So I pulled out this is my class's ability. I'm just like the general average class. It's like good at a little bit of everything. And he has this thing, it looks like a crossbow, but it actually just shoots bullets that ricochet off the walls. And I don't know exactly how it works. Like, it's kind of burst fire, but it seems like it's somewhat unlimited until you run out of time, which, like, right here I do. And what else? There was something that I wanted to talk about, but I'm kind of forgetting about it now. I think it was either with the guns or the map layout. Oh, I remember what it is. So one thing I found was kind of interesting and kind of frustrating is that because the game is so fast-paced, like, everything needs to be fast or you're totally, it's useless using it if it's slow. And all of the equipment, the rocket launcher, the grenades, and all that stuff is extremely slow in the game. So, like, if you're trying to shoot down a helicopter, it takes like a couple seconds for it to lock on, then another couple seconds for it to shoot. And in Call of Duty, you're only going to stay alive for like 10 seconds, if even 5 seconds sometimes. So all this stuff that takes so long is pretty frustrating. And throwing a grenade takes a really long time. So it's always been like that in Call of Duty, where a lot of times people die when they're about to throw a grenade. So you really have to think strategically before you throw it, or like use an equipment. But in this game specifically, or especially, it takes so long to use an equipment that, like, sometimes you're better off not having it. And some things I'm thinking about getting rid of it, but it's still nice to throw it into a building like that. And the grenades are just so weird. They have really big explosion radiuses, and it's hard to tell like exactly what's going to happen with the grenade. But I still like it, and I've still been using it. But like I said, it's just super slow. And it's only good to use if you're like kind of trying to defend a point or throwing it into a window like that, or throwing it to sea. But if you're trying to, like, if you're in the middle of a battle and you're trying to throw a grenade, you're almost 100% going to die. And I hope that something like that gets tweaked in Call of Duty if they're trying to keep the community together and like the game really balanced and competitive. But we'll see how they do. And that guy got me with the sniper. Like I said in the previous video, the sniper is also pretty hard to use, but as long as you hit somebody, you pretty much get a kill. So I don't know if I like that balancing technique, but it works because it's super slow, like super slow to move around. If you try to change weapons with a sniper rifle, even with like the perk that makes faster switching, it's super slow. But if you do hit anybody like from the waist up, it seems like you do get a kill, which is pretty crazy. It can be frustrating, but it kind of at least makes it feel balanced for the person that's sniping, which I guess is they have to consider both sides. But sometimes you just turn a corner and you like instantly get evaporated by the sniper rifle. And just in general, oh, here's a lot of lag again. Just in general, like, you die so fast in this game, it's pretty shocking how fast it happens. But when you watch the kill cam, it doesn't feel that fast, but when you're getting shot, it feels instantaneous. So it must be, I don't know if it's like a ping thing, connection, or how that's working, or the way the hit markers feel, but it feels like sometimes it takes a decent amount of shots, but then when you get shot, it's like instant, and it's hard to kind of rebuttal against anything. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. We're coming to an end here. This game was pretty good. It was balanced teams as much as like they didn't leave the match, so it wasn't like we were totally stomping them, but we ended up almost doubling their score here, and got the kill streaks, all that stuff. This kind of match makes me happy for Call of Duty, but this was a diamond in the rough per se. This wasn't like the norm. And yeah, so we'll see. I figured I'd just post this. Kind of fun, very reminiscent of the old school Call of Duty, but I don't know how much I'll be playing this game. So I want to post these videos to my page now while I'm playing. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. As always, I'm Blitz5, and peace out.